employment, what do you call irregular school calendar, lack of a proper healthcare system, and so many other things that they were born into. And then they left Nigeria. And they are still, while they are abroad, they are defending the criminals that prompted their own exit from the country in the first place. They left Nigeria, but Nigeria didn't leave them. People like that. So I've seen a lot. They will just be like, but Rome was not built in a day. These were the people that, before they were born, they were shouting up NEPA. When they were in their own mother's womb, they learned the word up NEPA from inside their mom's bellies. These are people who are now in their 40s, 50s, and their own grandchildren are already shouting up NEPA. But they are saying Nigeria is going to be better one day. We should just relax. One day, everything is going to be fine. We should all come together and all that nonsense. But they are abroad. They won't live in that Nigeria. It is the same concept of, at least me, I'm okay here. If Nigeria won't bad, maybe bad, I don't go live there. But everybody, they suffer there. It's okay as everybody, they suffer there. Let everybody suffer it. There are people like that, but some of you probably don't know that. They are on social media, they're everywhere too. You will suffer it until you suffocate. If you don't die and you have a chance of running away, you can. Or if you are stronger like the Aradites, this Aradite gum, because not be all of us will run away from Nigeria. You need to know that abroad is not for all of us. Abroad is not for everyone. There are people that even if they won't slaughter them for Nigeria like this, they will never live they will never live anywhere else or in that same Nigeria. It is normal. Those are the ones we are now trying to encourage to know that you cannot continue to indulge them, enable them, or continue to give excuses for them while you continue to be the victims, okay? Because you are. Seriously, you are. You are an abuser. You are in an abusive relationship. Nigerians and their rulers, especially with this APC, it is like an abusive relationship. Look at what you are going through. But somehow you are so scared to confront your abusers. A lot of you are so scared that instead of confronting your abusers, you would rather form a gang and attack those who have enough courage to stand up against them. You know what I mean? So not be all of us go run away. Not be all of us go jackpot. There are those who don't jackpot that are still going to jackpot. It is the normal. It is human nature. But the longer you continue to indulge them, the longer you continue to defend them, the longer you continue to be the victims of this bad leadership, as we are saying. So not until you probably stop. And I don't think you will. Let me tell you something. You remember that time when they are doing the Nigeria Air? I was here screaming. This thing na fraud. Bajue ni. This thing na bajue. Shut up your mouth. You this Mayegun. You are enemy of this. Some of these Ashiris were even asking that their government should work with the UK government, that they should deport me. I say, okay, if they can't deport me now, is that now going to now make them give you electricity? Just think about that. Will that now automatically make them give you jobs? Okay? And suddenly, corruption will go down and everything. Abi? I mean, if it is going to, I don't mind. It won't. You were just a born, raised, and conditional slave. Some said you are voluntary slaves. I was here telling them, oh, confident cash out now. This is bad. This is, you know what I mean? May Nigeria succeed. Nigeria will be great again. Lori Ikene. Lori drawing Nigeria here. Aeroplane. At ribbon. Is that yani Nigeria will be great? Nigeria will be great. Fulani, Daron. He came there and defrauded all of una intelligent mumuns. Especially the Lagos Abobakus. We know that hypocrisy make all of una they defend Bokwari and Pastor Ruga at the time. Now, majority of you shamelessly today, You are now making us know that Bokwari and Pastor Ruga, they were actually destruction that happened to Nigeria, disaster that ruined Nigeria. 8 years after you spent your 8 years every day here. They call me enemy of your enemy. I am just enemy of your enslavement in it. Do you not even supposed to appreciate me? Like even what we even talk one-on-one. A lot of you who spent your time defending APC, Egbekegbe, Bokwari, Pastor Ruga, Aregbe Mugbo Baba Kabiru, and the rest of all their gang. It's a pandemic. Malamu. Who else is there among them again? All of you who spent your 8 years calling me names and defending them. You know, say you are supposed to kind of, number one, you are supposed to come and apologize to me. And then after that, you are supposed to be so grateful to me. Like, Mayegun, Olori Buruku ni. Dabi mo se da lo po ju nu yin. Olori Buruku to n ko shibo lori ire ni yin. You know that you have left Bokwari and the same Zobo you sold for 8 years. You have started selling the same thing for Tinubu. Ashiri ara yin. When Mayegun says, Ironio, this one a lie, this one a lie, you go remove cloth, begin the wear basket, go outside, the biene to low to Viagra, masturbating in public, shouting, you this boy, afibi olori bruku abi gbate ko wa nbe gba to se tsunami. You this boy, wash your mouth, oni kuri. The same thing you want to do again for another 8 years, olori bruku yin dem be more. They procreate. And that is what makes the world more dangerous. When you see people like this who are easily deceived, and it's mostly for material things, people who are easily deceived because of their bellies, the belle lecturers, the mumu lecturers, the mumu madus. Now, Otobokeyamo, who was also part of the Bokwari Federal Executive Council, minister under Bokwari, the way that was sharing wheelbarrow ati pong, shovel ati rake ati bin bag. Festus Otobokeyamo, who wanted to create 774,000 jobs for their mumus. He was there when they were doing all of these deals. So Nigeria here. It reminded me of Nigeria Airways. Those are those auntie. They are there. Some of them are in London. Some are in Canada. This Nigeria here, it reminded me of the Nigeria Airways. I used to fly Nigeria Airways to New York. We came here and said, bad journey on a 419. They said, now because we don't wish Nigeria well. You this Mayegun, you don't wish Nigeria well. You should be wishing you should be saying good things. I say, I should really broken ni. Ati wish, ati doing. There are two different things. Person saying one open airline, and it's going to be called Nigeria here. And that means everyone should be happy that something like that is coming up. Not only that it is going to be a thing of pride, it should. I mean, everyone will connect with it if they see Nigeria Airways or Nigeria Air or anything that actually flies Nigeria, like normal, right? They would not let us say the truth because they are so sort of, what do they call them? Immune to truth. The Nigeria Railways, you saw that one, the railways that the Chinese came to build. That even with their corruption, even all of them, in their effort, they still managed to make sure that all those projects are not really completed to their full capacity. Chinese have built the rail track. They have brought the locomotive, abandoned locomotive from their country, repainted the core, refurbished. Now you have all of them right there. Now build terminal for tickets. Nigeria syndrome. Now, if you go to the terminal, They will tell you can buy your ticket online, and you can come and buy ticket at the station. But when you get there, right, you realize that the criminals who are selling the ticket are selling them for their own pockets, not in any way trying to actually, make the investment, public investment, to work. Okay, no, it's about stealing. Now, so this Wiri said he wanted to start Nigeria here. If you want to start Nigeria here or something, at first the Olori Bruku Adisirika said that by the end of 2022, I don't know if some of you remember this, that they said by the end of 2022, Nigeria will be manufacturing plane. How many of you remember that? Ogbenima pretendi. You wanted to say you don't remember? That Adisirika, the Were Fulani from Futajalon, like Bokwari, who came to dupe everybody. That's what they did, though. He said Nigeria will be manufacturing aircrafts by the end of 2022, because Nigeria Airways will have 100 aircrafts by the end of 2022. I said there, sharing this is a fraud. This is a lie. Why can't you just wish Nigeria well? What is your problem? Go say any problem me. You know what I mean? Now be mumu. Maybe the problem. Somebody won't start airline. There is no office. There is no website. There is no contact number. There is no recruitment exercise. There is no training. There is absolutely nothing. Just a Photoshop, what do you call it? Aeroplane at the logo at the ribbon. Have you really been lengthy? I don't know. But finally, they said that it is not just that they defrauded you of Nigeria years in a scam. There has been so much. Majority of you have been flying in Nigeria in the last 8 years. Now there you go, no say miracle day. I know what I'm talking about. When you are flying in a country where regulation have been totally been corrupted, that majority are just going there, you jump into the plane. I'm going from Calabar to Abuja. And there you are. You landed in Abuja. Even though you face some in the ear. Jesus. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. It was a little bit rough, but we thank you, Jesus. Now, coffin. Majority of you, they fly in. You know what is called a flying coffin? And it is like it is already catching up. Right. Flying coffin is when you believe say you dey inside aeroplane. And you don't know say, Àòpàdé lẹ́sẹ̀ Jésù. Níbi tí a kò ní yára wa. A ó ríra wa. A ó yọ̀ mọ́ra wa. Jésù ni yóò ṣe alága. Ó ti kú, but you will not know. I'm not wishing it on you. In the last few weeks, they have started seeing aeroplane where they come off for road, enter bush. I have seen towing vehicle. They try to tow aeroplane out of the bush in Nigeria. The latest one was that you fit talk say you dey go Abuja from Lagos, may you land in Akure. So this time, if you enter any plane in Nigeria, you have to remind the pilot or the conductor, see, is this plane going to Abuja? See, yeah, it's Abuja, okay. Hello, excuse me. I'm going to Abuja. I'm going to Abuja. Say, yeah, it's going to Abuja. Don't worry, it's going to Abuja. Because I saw one plane. I don't know where they said the plane left to. It was supposed to be going to Abuja. It landed in Asaba. Now, when they land in Asaba, it was Ebola wayi. They say na Asaba. Asaba bawo. Na Abuja we they go. It's a it is in Asaba, all of them they go. You they do stopover for you, no, it's your next destination. Some of them have had their plane landed somewhere in the bush. That they will now say, sorry, this aeroplane will not be able to take you to Akure. Now Ekiti with this souls, but you go complete the rest of the journey by road. All of these are happening. And these are not good. But you know, in Nigeria, not until the plane crash, and everybody will begin to say, hey, then you begin to hear stories. And they say, they must reform this aviation. No, they must, how can you allow this to happen in Jesus? How can you allow this to shake? But they are already escaping. Or Ikuto, they say if death will come on your cap. Now one, there's anything will come on your cap. We no kill you. Now one, go give you second chance. We're talking about the consequence of corruption. We have had a report that Adisirika actually really did well for himself. This guy cashed out big time. No joke. There is no Nigeria here. It is so bad that even Otoboke Yamo cannot build anything on it. He said, I cannot even touch it. That you need to see the deal Adisirika made with Ethiopian here on behalf of Nigeria. Why the Sugomu Songbetos were dancing about, some of them that will never have any chance. Well, Talon logic. No people will get money, they enter plane. Those ones where they wait for Nigeria here. Should they are all those places. They said that if you look at the deal themselves, now Tobokeyamo, they talk that, I'll show you so that I can pick it up from here. Don't go anywhere. This is Fraudsters. Fraudsters, please tell us.
Thank you. I have a number of questions here. The cost of the machines for the international airports have been given at 3 billion, 233 million, and 600,000, inclusive of 7% VAT. Naira. 3 billion naira, 233 billion, 233 million, 600,000. That's 3.2 approximately. With a completion period of 12 months, we can get the money from the moment we give them the money. It's customized, so they're going to build it for us from the companies abroad. And they have a completion period of 12 months to do that. Then somebody asked about the advantage of the agreement with Guyana. Guyana, any country where you open a route, to go and come, it's always an advantage of citizen in terms of trade and in terms of movement, in terms of holidays and all of that. But most importantly, Guyana is a South American country. And you should know that our routes from Nigeria to South America, they are not many or even non-existent. If you want to go to Brazil now, you have to go first to London to catch. And then Brazil is just 4 hours or 5 hours across the Atlantic on our left-hand side. So if you have a direct flight to Brazil, you spend 4.5 hours. But right now, you may spend up to 18 hours. You first go and transit somewhere, maybe in Europe first, to get to a South American country. So anything that opens up that route for us, the South American route, where you can go there and then transit to maybe Colombia or Brazil and all that, it can be a transit point too for Nigerians who are visiting the South American countries. This agreement has been signed long before we even came into power. So 2014, it was signed, but not ratified. And they have been pushing for the ratification because they also want to come to Nigeria to do their businesses and other things. As to the plane that landed in Asaba, immediately yesterday I called for a report on it. And immediately also I summoned the heads of all my agencies. I'm sure you've seen it, and I speak with you as I'm here. They've been waiting for me since 2 o'clock. So I'm leaving here straight to that meeting now with the heads of the agencies. And I'm sure because of my concern, I'm sure you have seen the press release by the NCA suspending the wet leases of United. If you have not seen it, that release has since come out. That is a precautionary step that the NCA took until they find out the real, cause of that. But then, because some caution needs to be applied, and we have to take precaution. I mean, the NCA decided to suspend wet leases. The wet leases by United. Not so. That answers the other question too. It's not wet leases generally, but the United wet lease. What's a wet lease? A wet lease is when you go and hire a plane outside the country and they bring their crew, their pilot, the crew, and everybody. So they may not be familiar with your terrain. If it's a Nigerian pilot, once it's descending to another place, this will not look like Abuja for me, But a wet lease, a white man or somebody, a foreigner flying the plane, if a foreigner is flying the plane, he just follows the coordinate given to him. And if it's a wrong coordinate, well, if it's a Nigerian pilot, this is not the coordinate that takes me to Abuja. So I think that's a precautionary measure that the agency took. Let me be clear that a minister does not get involved in regulation. I'm sure you all know that. So when anything happens, say Minister of Aviation, he's a regulator. But my duty as minister, which I have sought, to enforce and implement to the end, is to ensure that they do their work. And that's why I've summoned them, to ensure that they enforce their regulations to the letter. And I told all of them, the way I will not give excuses to my president, who has appointed me here, I don't want excuses from them. Anytime there is an incident, I told them, anytime there's an incident at the airport, either an aircraft, the tire gets burst, or some fuel issue and all that, there's a failure of regulation somewhere. Because somebody ought to have inspected that tire before the plane took off to know that the tire is not fit for landing. Somebody should have inspected the runway to say that it's not fit for landing. And you land and you skid off the runway. So anytime there's an incident, the first assumption is that there's a failure of regulation somewhere. And that, of course, is what I intend to impress upon them. And like I said, I will not give my president excuses. This involves the lives of Nigerians. It's a very delicate, ministry I find myself. The lives of Nigerians. And so I will not take excuses too. The way my president will not take excuses from me. And that's, I intend to do today. But of course, we'll look at the technical issues and we'll brief the press too in my office after we've finished it. But I've reacted to these developments, and the NCA have also reacted. The last question, time frame, cancellation, is about the Air Nigeria project. I have deliberately not granted the full press interview. I've heard all kinds of things going on, all kinds of brickbats in the social media. But I cannot preempt my president. I cannot. All the documents, all the reports, everything we have forwarded to Mr. President. The issues we met on the ground. But just to say that it would have been irresponsible of me as minister to take over office, and I feel the pulse of Nigerians. I feel even the National Assembly raised concerns over that. And so many stakeholders. It would have been irresponsible to close my eyes totally to those concerns. So because of that, we suspended it to say, let's just look at all the issues and recommend. Now we have looked at all the issues, and it's before Mr. President. But let me just give one or two snippets because of Nigerians who are, who are quick to judge. In the agreement, you are giving tax waivers to Ethiopian airline coming into Nigeria. They asked for tax waivers for 5 years, and you granted them to come and compete with your local airlines who are paying those heavy taxes. How? You want to create a monopoly. That's why when they tell you that, we want to crash price by 70%, it's a lie. It's robbing Peter to pay Paul. Because they have removed all taxes from you, and you granted them to the tax waivers. And initially, they will crash prices. Once you drive every other person out of the market, you now have a monopoly that you can hike it 500%. Nobody there to challenge you. The only thing that brings down prices in the commercial world is competition. It's fair competition. In the agreement, they also made a proposal that they will appoint everybody, top management, everybody Ethiopian in Nigeria. And we agreed. Thank you. I have a number of questions here. The cost of the
Fraudsters sounding like somebody where one can't really do something if you believe him. Apart from those info he managed to release there, okay? Anything else that fraudster says, if you believe him, your mumu no get killed. I'm telling you. But he said he's already called. Of course, now he's don't call the meeting. He's called this or that. And then you should be praying that there is no plane crash that will finally show to you that if you believe him, your mumu no get killed. Do you understand what I mean? But yeah, let's put that aside, just temporarily, by the way. I want to remind us that Rhoda Jatau, the woman I shared a story with us 2 days ago, she has been in Bauchi prison for the past 18 months. She happens to be a medical practitioner, healthcare giver, by the way, who shared the video that encourages religious tolerance and avoid religious violence after Deborah Yakubu was killed. Now, I am happy today that, the story is now so spreading. I have seen few, international media who has also carried the news in shock that waiting they happen go now. The people that killed Deborah, they are walking free. Nobody is looking for them. There's somebody that condemned the killing and encouraged religious tolerance, became a target of the same Islamic terrorists in Bauchi. They killed Deborah in Sokoto, and in Bauchi, they went after Rhoda, that they will kill him. So initially, the police said they arrested him for arrested her for her own good, only for them to lock her up for over 18 months. The mother of 5, Rhoda Jatau, is still in Bauchi prison, where she's not been allowed to even see her family anymore. And I hope that as we are adding our voices, Rhoda regains her freedom. Some people are asking, where is the Christian Association of Nigeria? Where is CAN? Where is PFN? Where is this? Where is that? It's the same question. Out of the 100% of people who were killed for religious persecution all over the world, 89% of those killed because of their religion, because they are Christians, they are from Nigeria alone, and they are mostly women. That is an international, report that also acknowledges what is going on in Nigeria. So we hope that those bodies would actually defend the the same people that they tend to, or that they claim to be representing, Christian Association of Nigeria. PFN, what is that one? Pentecostal, what's that? I don't know. I don't want to. But you are seeing all the persecution. A lot of others are seeing the religious persecution of our people by, well, different religious body in Nigeria, I would say. But this particular one, she's been held for blasphemy. Blasphemy. And you have in that Sharia North, okay, where those who are indigenous people of some of these areas, because of the map drawn by this Fulani military of Nigeria at the time, that created all these pseudo states in Nigeria. Now, if you take your time very well, you go to Bauchi, you go to Borno, You go to what do you call it? Is that Sokoto? Anyway, I'll stay at Bauchi. Let's try Bauchi. Kaduna. I wanted to say Kaduna as well. They said if you go to the southern part of all these states, these are places where you can call the Christians population, the Christian community, the Christians, region, so to say. But the Nigerian criminal system continue to present the Sharia North, where they once said Sharia law is not going to be applicable to non-Muslims. Do you know that Nigeria is a mad place? Oh, now if you don't know that before, I am saying that to you right now. You see, when this Sonny Yerima, the Osama bin Laden that started the Sharia law in Nigeria, when they started it, they said Sharia law was going to be for Muslims and it's not for any non-Muslims. They are killing non-Muslims in northern Nigeria because of Sharia. They are locking them up for blasphemy in the name of Allah and Muhammad. In a supposed country where the freedom of religion is indeed supposedly like, you can't claim freedom of religion in those jihadist north, because they are saying they are Islamic, not they are Islam. They are not. And some of these people who are trapped in some of these Sharia states, they are not protected by the Nigerian law. Their Sharia is targeting non-Muslims. And that is wrong. And that's where sometimes we get disagreement with those who claim to be moderate Muslims. A lot of you who claim to be moderate Muslims, you are seeing all of this, right? But a lot of you would rather keep quiet. But you are going to be offended when people begin to react, because you are going to be offended in the sense that when people react to you, they are attacking Islam. But look at what they are doing. You are scared of them, or you are just like the opposite. I mean, I'm not going to even say opposite, right? There are things that some of you would like to do, but you can't do. How could you be punishing people with Sharia? People who are not Muslims. How could you be killing people who are not Muslims with your Sharia in a country that is not Islamic country? Prince Jejema will disagree with me. Mayegun, Nigeria is an Islamic country, my brother. Stop deceiving yourself. He will say that to me, even though if it is factually not true. That's what they are doing to people. And they call them minority. The people of Middle Belt alone, they are bigger than they are bigger than all those Sharia states in northern Nigeria. And that is why they would rather tell you northern Nigeria, southern Nigeria. There is no northern Nigeria. Sharia North is what you have. Then you have the Middle Belt. People who are indeed of a different religion. They are Muslims, they are Christians, they are animists and every other thing. So your Sharia should never have crossed their border, talk less of trying or making effort to come and impose that Sharia there, or dreaming for one day you are going to impose Sharia all over Nigeria. Don't tell me you are a moderate Muslims and then all of this does not really offend you. You should be offended. Yeah, as a real Muslim, you should be offended that these criminals are doing this. And they have actually tried to normalize it like it is normal. Yeah, it is what it is. It is not what it is. So Jatal deserves protection. And I hope that the attention that her case is getting right now, indeed, facilitate her release ASAP. And guess what? If they release Jatal today, if they release her today in Nigeria for her safety, herself and her family, they would have to relocate out of Bauchi. That is the contraption that they want to keep together, called One Nigeria. If you dare in Nigeria, if you are from Sharia North, if you dare announce that you are converting to another religion from Islam, you've just You know what I mean? You just put a sort of a target on your own back. They will kill you, and don't let that shock you. You see those wearies that will claim that they are moderate Muslims defending these criminals. Those ones who easily get offended using Islam to defend these rogues. Say, watch your mouth. There's nowhere in Islam that is allowed. If it's not allowed in Islam, why are you offended? You get that? Let me tell you something. All these people, they are not practicing this. Shori Bruko, bye. Don't explain anything to me. Do you understand? Just don't take, since you know that they are not Islam, they are not, which means whatever nonsense they said they are practicing, don't take offense. And don't try to explain to me. Because right? You are just like the people who want us to live in that fear of, as you live in that fear, the fear of a real terrorist shouting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Let's call them out and deal with them without you being offended. So you need explanation. You can shove that in your own wherever you probably want to, any space you have there. Just shove it there. So the bottom line is that these rogues, they are making people to normalize something that should never by any means be allowed. If that woman is released, they would have to move out of Bauchi for her safety. Nigeria cannot provide security for her. The system can never defend her. She will be killed if she stays in Bauchi. It will be the politicians themselves that will have, all those clerics that will facilitate how they are going to kill her. And our killers, they will walk. That's a complete barbaric behavior. You know what I mean? And if you are now reading that they put somebody in jail for condemning those who killed somebody they accused of blasphemy, defending Allah, defending Muhammad, they burnt a young girl, they burnt her to ashes. Somebody complained about that and then preached religious tolerance. They wanted to kill her too. So we were offended by Alaji. Alaja, you are not offended by that, Abi? I know it's wrong. Who are you saying you know it's wrong? You know it's wrong. Then Jekajo condemn it. Don't take any offense. Sure you get? Eka condemn it fully. Don't come and try to explain. What I'm saying is that they are not. Am I check with you again? Sure you get? Because we know what they are doing. Everybody knows what they are doing. They wanted to kill her for Allah, kill her for Muhammad. Blasphemy. And that's the country they want us to probably keep together, living with murderers, living with people that could easily snuff out, snuff out, life out of you. And shouting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. And there's somebody who is going to be like, they are not about Joma. Anyway, 18 months. Because some people wanted to kill her for blasphemy. That's not a real place. Trust me, it's not. And that's why people are asking them, share the same Islam that they are practicing in Dubai is the same Islam these Olori Bruku jihadists, terrorists are practicing in Nigeria. Could possible, it can never be the one. Now that one for the Tuareg. You get that? All those ones from the Tuareg, the Saheli, all those terrorists, you know what I mean? That kind of Islam they are practicing, led by the Sultan of Sokoto, the grandson or the great-grandson of Uthman Dan Fodio, the first and official terrorist to ever grace the land that today form a place called Nigeria.